Welcome to the Dead 3 Coaching, Leadership, and Development YouTube video. We really appreciate all the support that you've given to us. If you could do us a favor as we get going here, click that like button, click that share button, and please subscribe so you get all our videos once they are released. We're going to jump right into it. These are quick 10-minute videos that we then convert into podcasts, or not into podcasts. We convert them into blogs on our website. The website is also in the show notes as well. But I saw a video early this morning, and this is really about, taking lessons from athletics and leadership and the elite leaders that are in the athletic world, and then positioning that into stories about our professional world, software, sales, whatever it might be. And I saw a video this morning that I wanted to share with you, and it is a video of Nick Saban. We're probably going to hear a lot about Nick Saban. He's the premier college football coach in the nation. He has been for many years. I don't know how many national championships they've won at Alabama. He might have 4 to 5 there, and he definitely has one with LSU. So he's won a number of national championships, and everything he kind of does in terms of leadership and preparation and standards and culture is something to study. And so they lost last week. They played a game at Alabama. They haven't lost at Alabama for quite a while. And they lost to the University of Texas. And they may have lost by like 10 or so points. So he's given this press conference. And I'm going to look at some notes here as we go through it. But the video is him saying this. Like, keep in mind, when you're watching this, or when I'm recording this, we're 2 weeks into the college football season. And if you know how college football works, only 4 teams make the playoffs. Now, next year, I believe 12 make it. This year, only 4. So he's got to run the table at Alabama to make the playoffs. 4 teams make it. And if you lose early, like that's a tough hill to climb of trying to make the playoffs. So they haven't even started their league yet. And so he's got the league, which is the toughest league in America. So the chances of him running it's going to be hard. So, and to lose at home to Texas and all that. So there's stories in there. So what do you do as a leader? He goes into that locker room and they've lost, and they lost at home, and they've got now 9-10 games left, and maybe an SEC championship just to try to get into the playoffs. So I'd be curious on what his message was to his team, let alone the message I'm going to share with you here. How do you rally? How do you talk to? How do you uplift? How do you encourage? How do you recalibrate your team when you lose? And when you lose big, and there's still games to play. And you understand that this is not just a sport message. You still got clients to get, sales to get. The quarter's not over. The year's not over. The product's not over. Like, how do you recalibrate, re-engage, reinvigorate your team to go get the wins that are still out there? Focus on one day at a time. Focus on the next win. Focus on the next best action. There's a coach that told me that, NBA, next best action. But Saban gets up in front of, he has to do the press conference. So he's in front of the press conference and he says, listen, we've got 2 choices. 2. We can, to quote him correctly or to get it close, we can throw in the towel. We can quit. And we can be mediocre. So that's option number 1 in his book as he's addressing the media. And he said that may have been, I believe this is what he said, that was his message to the team. We can throw in the towel, we can quit, and we can be mediocre. Now, what kind of program are you running? It's about development. It's about life lessons. It's about reaching people towards our goals. And it's not dealing with 14 to 23-year-olds. If you're a leader listening to this or reading about this in our blog series, it's about developing your people. Yeah, this was a setback. Now, we can throw in the towel, we can be mediocre, and we can quit. We can go find a new job. Or you can know that you're supported to no end, that you're recognized for your work, that you are valued, that you are contributing to our compelling vision that we've talked about so much, and that you are needed, and that we're just going to recalibrate, we're going to learn, and we're going to move on, and we're going to get better, and we're going to attack the next win, whatever that might be. So that is choice number one. Choice number two, according to Saban, is we can fight, we can grind, and we can do all the hard things that are required and necessary for us to be successful. Those are the options. Option number one, we can throw in the towel, we can quit, and we can be mediocre. Option number two, we can fight, we can grind, we can figure out all the hard things that we need to do in order to be successful. And I'm sure he said this. I shouldn't say I'm sure he said this. I can see him saying this to his team, those two things. But I could also see him saying, we will find out what kind of person you are in the next week or two. How you show up, what Alabama's all about, what our culture is, what our environment is, what our leadership is, what our communication is, what our narrative is. We will find out what we're all about, but also we are going to find out what you are all about, because some of you are going to grind, fight, and do the hard things it requires to be successful. And some of you, hopefully not many of you, some of you will throw in the towel, you will quit, and you will be okay with being mediocre. If you're in the world of athletics and you lose on a Tuesday, Friday night in basketball, or you lose on a Friday night in high school football, or you lose on a Saturday in college football, how do you bounce back? So here are three things to cover. And I'm not going to go into each one of them. We're keeping these to under 10 minutes. These will be in other lessons and other content that we create on the Dead 3 Coaching and Leadership website. But one, you have to embrace a growth mindset, and you have to understand you're going to lose. You're going to get your ass kicked. You're going to get your ass handed to you. You're going to lose. But you can't see failure, obstacles, road, all that, issues, challenges as failure. You learn. You get back into it. You wake up next day saying, I'm not going to throw in the towel. I'm not going to be mediocre, and I'm not going to quit. I like David Goggins' quote of, I'm going to quit one day. I'm going to quit running. I'm going to quit grinding. I'm going to quit waking up at 4 a.m. I'm going to quit creating content. I'm going to quit. One day I will quit. It's just not today. So when you lose on a Tuesday, Friday, or you lose the client, or you lose the sale, you lose a release timeline date, whatever it might be. Yeah, I'm going to quit, but it's just not today. I'm going to bounce back tomorrow. I'm not here to be mediocre. I'm not here to be average. I'm not being okay is not okay. All that sort of stuff. The second thing is you just got to analyze and adapt and innovate and iterate on moving you towards a compelling vision. The greatness that you have carved out cannot change. The method, strategy, systems, and process to get you there can. Be great. Carve it out. Know you're capable of greatness. Jesse Itzler says, that's not going to change. My goals, my ambitions, my targets, what I'm trying to do in my life does not change that much. I may adjust and adapt and iterate on what it takes to get there. The systems, the process. And the last point is you just remain persistent. Keep grinding. Don't let the doubters in your mind, the negative limiting beliefs that you can't be great, enter your mind. Don't allow that to happen. Saban was great. We only have two choices after we got our butts kicked just by Texas. We can quit, we can throw in the towel, and we can be mediocre, or we can be elite. We can fight, we can grind, and we can do the hard things that it takes to be elite, to be successful. Those are your options. He also says in another video, and we don't have time to get into it now, but he talks about, man, being elite, being successful, being the best, you're not left with a lot of choices. It is what it is. You want to be great college football player at Alabama? Yeah, that means you get up at 5 in the morning. It means that you're in bed at a certain time. It means you eat certain things. It means you do training table. It means that you study film. You're not left with a lot of choices. It is what it is to be great and elite. And it's the same thing in the professional world. You want to be great and elite salesman, a rep, a software developer, you a leader. It takes what it takes. You're not left with a lot of choices to be elite. And we'll get into that in another podcast. Please like, comment, share. We're building the content up here on YouTube, but it all does circle back into the content we are creating on our website. Please see that in the show notes. Please click on those links. Please continue to support Dead3 coaching and leadership development. Thank you.